Good day. I'm meteorologist Robert Spetta. There's meteorologist Lee Southwick.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy Wednesday. Made it halfway through the week.
It is Wednesday, and we got plenty to talk about here. Not only locally, we're going to kind of change up the scope here today on this Weather Impact Live. We're going to look across the country at a few different things going on. But the sargassum returning to our area beaches. It's that time of year, Lee. But sargassum season kind of eludes, and actually our former chief meteorologist Tim Deegan always would tell me this. If the sargassum shows up, that means hurricane season is going to be starting soon. They kind of, because it's just like the easterlies begin to kick in.
Mm-hmm. It also lines up with turtle season because that's where the little baby turtles go and hide in as they're growing and stuff too. So, you got to have this sargassum out there, and then this turtle season starting up.
And seahorses.
And seahorses.
Seahorses.
I've only found one seahorse ever in
really?
sargassum.
I've never, but I guess I'm not actively looking.
Fair.
Where are you at? We got a little tropical. I put a question mark on it because not really, but there's an area there, and we'll talk about what that means. And also, we're going to talk about some severe weather and even some like dynamics with severe weather from a social standpoint. Kind of interesting, and of course, our local forecast here on the First Coast. So we got plenty to talk about. First, of course, the sargassum. Yeah, it returns. I took this image yesterday out there at Jack's Beach, just lined up and down the coast. What really stood out to me was I saw a kid. Parents must be from out of town. I don't know what they were thinking, or maybe they're local. I don't know. The kid took the big pile of sargassum, put it on their head, and they were wearing it.
Oh, it makes me itchy to think about.
And I was just like.
Sorry, I was like making a face.
I don't want to say anything. I don't want to be that person that says something, but I was just like, y'all know there's like critters that live in that thing,
and it just doesn't feel.
Kid, it was like a pile just like that. They were like, and you can wear it as a hat.
I thought like the next step they're gonna be one of those like kids that act like sea monsters. So, they cover it.
Yeah, maybe that's what they were doing. Like,
seahorse falls out.
Crabs. I mean, these things are really important because they form out there in the Caribbean. You get these sargassum mats, and as Lee just pointed out, sea turtles, they use them as homes, So this is not like anything unusual to have the sargassum come on shore this time of year.
Yeah.
It's not poisonous or anything like that either, but you don't want to mess around with it because it does start to rot. It makes a foul smell. And if you get a lot of it clumped up, it actually can get pretty nasty. I know down south they get like mats of it.
They do. Like the water, like the beach is closed down. It's just everywhere. But even for us, like if it's the water is warming up. Of course, the air is warming up. People want to go swimming here soon. It's just not fun to swim in and around either.
You get like that little
You're like, what touched me?
Anytime something touches me in the ocean, I freak out. Like, done.
100%. It's because not like in the Gulf or even down south where it's like clearer water. Like we have very healthy waters here. There's a lot of nutrients in our water. But that's why it's not the prettiest, it's not clear. So therefore, you have no idea what's touching your foot or your knee when you're swimming. Time to get out.
I just noticed I spelled sargassum wrong on this. Did you catch that right away? Sargassum.
I might have caught it. It's okay.
Well, it's all right. It's all right. I caught it. I pointed it out here.
And I didn't want to be like a.
You could have, and you could have said it like, Robert, you can't spell. Like
he said that. I didn't say that. I know I'm the one on screen right now, but I did not say that.
There's obviously an R in it.
R for Robert.
So one reason why it is arriving this week, though, is outside of the fact we are in the month of May, late May, early June. It usually does start to show up on our coast. We have kind of this consistent easterly wind we've been seeing out here.
Yeah. And then also creating that risk of rip currents and all of that. So all that stuff moving on shore.
That was the other thing while I was out there at the beach yesterday. I did notice that the rip currents, very obvious. Like you could roll well. Right near the pier especially.
Oh, yeah.
And what always bothers me is it's obvious because the waves don't crash so much where the rips are. And that's where you often see people like playing in the water.
Right. I mean, it makes sense. Human nature is, that's a calm spot, so I'm going to go there so I don't get knocked down by the waves. but that could be, it's like,
if you look closely, you can literally see the water going.
because it's going out. So that's why it's calm going against the waves. And so, yes, they're dangerous. And even some of our coworkers here went to the beach on Monday.
Yeah.
And I did spend all Sunday night saying, have fun on the beach on the sand because there's high rip current risk. Don't go in the water. Well, one of them didn't listen to me. Didn't get caught in the rip current, but did say that they continued to get knocked down by everywhere. Like, it was crazy. Well, I said, not get in the water.
Listen to your coworkers. Okay, so off of our East Coast too, we separately from the rip current risk, from the sargassum, there is this area, and this has been getting some talk.
Right, you can see the little rotation.
Yeah, it's little right there. You see it, and I know if we point this, and I'll even make it a little more spooky. I'm gonna put a little circle around it.
No, there are people out there watching this right now without the sound on.
Oh,
and they are so scared.
Oh. I'll put a little circle right there, a little arrow pointing at it.
No. No.
The point is, this is what we could do. It is an area out there in the month of May. You sometimes can see these little areas of low pressure kind of spin up, but there is nothing going for this to develop. If we were in the month of September,
yeah, we'd be scared.
Yeah, I would be sitting here going, hold on a second, right?
It would honestly probably have an X on it from the National Hurricane Center,
yes,
too, but we would have been, watching it, bringing you updates on it just to either say, hey, we don't see this developing, or there's the chance. But
the
it is
NHC
May.
has nothing on this.
And while you can have storms develop around Memorial Day weekend, it happens.
I mean,
this one's not looking too.
Actually, this is for the month of May.
Continuing to scare us all.
This is where storms typically form in the month of May. So what you're saying, they can happen around Memorial Day weekend. Okay, let's come back to reality. This is like our high resolution model. It just kind of falls apart. General easterly flow rips it apart there too. You don't really see too much out of it. Even if we take up our wind outlook here with the high resolution graph model, it picks it up for like a half a second. You kind of see the little bit of like notching there. That's it.
It's trying, yeah.
It's trying, and it's trying to but there's nothing there. Too much dry air out ahead of it. We got some shear aloft. It's just gonna absolutely. And you know what? The sea surface temperatures in the area, albeit they're into the 70s, they're not extremely conducive for tropical cyclone development out there. It's just, we're too early in the season, too much dry air kind of going against it out here right now, Lee.
I like it. I like everything I see. So, tropical activity ? Answer is nah.
Nah, but, we got to point it out. We'll talk about it. That's our point. We'll let you know here at First Coast News whenever there is the threat of a tropical system, but when there isn't. So when you see something or you see social media posting things about it and going, hey, there's an area there, what's that? We're going to let you know so you can relax a little bit.
It's our job to worry. So we will let you know if there comes a time where you need to worry.
But it is an El Nino year, and below average by CSU, a number of named storms this season, at or just below average. I am curious, tomorrow the NOAA is going to put out their hurricane outlook too.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to line up pretty well with the average or below average, like with the CSU. So
yeah.
But with that said, El Nino, quieter year, blah, blah, blah. That's still a forecast for 13 named storms. It's not saying that it's going to be completely quiet. We will still have storms.
Two major hurricanes.
Where that major hurricane or two hit, that is a devastating year. So it just takes one. We can't say it enough.
And hurricane season starts officially in 12 days. So there you go.
Wow.
Now you have it. We're also going to talk about some severe weather in the broader picture real quick here. Do you want to go to a break real quick? We'll pay some bills. When we come back, let's talk about some severe thunderstorms out west and a phenomena that has been getting a lot of talk, especially on the weather socials here recently. And we'll talk about that in just a minute.
We have new details about a heavy police presence in Jacksonville Beach.
Driver fired gunshots along the interstate today, prompting a police chase.
Breaking overnight, police are investigating an officer-involved shooting.
Breaking news, a major crash on I-95.
Routine controlled burn got out of control. First Coast News was the only station there.
Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with First Coast News and First Coast News Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage with First Coast News and First Coast News Plus. The First Coast News Plus TV app. Streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Have the umbrella in the back seat, the rain jacket ready to go.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
Let's get some breaking news we've been following overnight.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. First Coast News Plus, complete coverage of your local news, weather, and more.
The First Coast News weather team has your most accurate forecast with weather impact alerts to warn you about severe weather. Our team is here to help you prepare and keep you safe.
The First Coast News weather team is always on your side. Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus.
We have such good streaming, like commercial break music. I love it.
Just get into it. I hope you get into it at home. You're like, there's the weather impact live music right there. Excuse me.
We're excited.
The guy gets so excited. Let's talk about what's happening across the states today. You see a bunch of some messy weather out west.
Yeah.
And we actually had reports of large hail, even tornadoes the last few days in parts of Texas, over towards Michigan. And earlier this week, we even had pretty significant tornado damage in Nebraska.
Oh, man.
And I'll show you some video out of Nebraska here because this was the Ashburn area. I mean, take a look at this.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Yeah, or Ashland, excuse me. There's a tornado that moved through there, damaged 3 homes, Sandy Point Circle.
I mean, that's not like damage. That's done for.
Yeah, and this is some serious stuff.
Whoa.
I mean, it is tornado season out there, and this, oh, goodness. You can tell it's rural, right next to our propane tank right there. That's
so, like,
scary.
when these reports come out from, like, like the report aftermath, and they say damage 3 homes, like, I would challenge the officials there and say, no, that looks like it destroyed.
Oh, good point. Yes.
There's a difference.
And, thankfully, no injuries reported in this one.
Thank goodness.
So hopefully they all had storm shelters there. I'm not quite sure. Hopefully nobody was at home in that particular instance. But it does go show, whenever we get these tornado warnings, I think sometimes lately people tend to just go, I'll know when it comes. It's like, you always got to take these seriously.
Always. Especially here to just, bringing it back to the First Coast real quickly.
Yeah.
Because so many of the tornadoes down in the south are rain wrapped. So you don't know when it's there. Next thing you know, your roof is being ripped off and it's too late. So I understand why some people on the plains think that because they think they can see it coming from miles away. And they can sometimes.
Yeah.
But here it's really difficult to see. Not only in the south are they rain wrapped, but we have a lot of nighttime tornadoes too.
And that makes it difficult for the next thing that I want to talk about.
Okay.
And that is storm chasing. Now, of course, we have the protector here, and we try, to stay back from storms. I never really like to get into rain-wrapped areas anyways. It's just not good footage. But this is becoming a bigger and bigger issue out west in tornado country. And this image right here, this is from a radar app here, and during one of the storms. And you kind of see all these dots. Let's throw this up on the screen here. So you see all these dots. These are different storm spotters and storm chasers that are broadcasting their location amidst one of these storms from earlier this week.
So many people, so much traffic on the roads when in a situation where we're saying, stay off the road, stay inside.
And these are the people that are actually broadcasting their position. There's probably twice as many that are just people that are, Jim Bob out there who's like, I'm going to jump in the truck and go chase after these things.
Yeah.
These are actually sky-worn spotters. And
professionals.
Or at least people that are registered.
Yeah.
And I think this has been a very hot topic the last few years. I remember Oklahoma actually introduced a bill. It got shot down eventually that said you had to be either part of the National Weather Service, a researcher with a college, or media to be able to chase storms. Or else, like, I don't know how they would police that.
Yeah,
and
because technically you could call them all media now if they just put up a stream on YouTube or something.
And it seems like there's a lot of people who are doing exactly that. They're going for the clout, but they have no meteorology kind of experience. There's some big-time storm chasers like Reed Timmer out there that people are just kind of attaching and following him because he's in a very obvious storm-chasing vehicle.
Yeah.
And I think one of the big things is that there is worry that there is going to be like a real serious event with gridlock out here ahead of a tornado.
I agree that there is a big problem with just so many. But there's just like two sides to every story.
Yeah.
So one, I love that more and more people are getting interested in the weather.
Yes.
Paying attention to it. Their feeds help us, help you stay safe, get information. They collect vital information that helps us with forecasting. And like one of my good friends who's a storm chaser, Brandon Kopic, his vehicle is equipped to also be a first responder. So he wants to get there, he'll get the footage, but then he believes, well, I'm there, I'm not going to keep chasing it. If someone's hurt or place is damaged, I'm going to be there to help. And I really appreciate that because they are there so they can get there before the ambulance gets there.
And I do agree. I agree with that part of it. Because that also is the difference between around here and one thing we don't have a lot of spotters. We have plenty of spotters here on the First Coast, but we don't have anything like this. So sometimes we'll get these rain-wrapped tornadoes in a wooded area, and we often say here during our broadcast, this is a radar-indicated tornado. It is a big difference between radar-indicated and actually having somebody out there going, that's on the ground.
Right.
And that's another reason why having skywarn spotters, these chasers, these people that are looking at it, so important.
That's too many people. Like you said, the gridlock, like that is a horrifying thought.
It's like having too much of a good thing. Like
kind of like when we've seen this before with hurricanes.
Yeah.
Everyone evacuates at once. You get gridlocked. You got real big problems.
Yeah.
Like too many people on the roads, or there. I mean, I'm thinking most of them are safe, but they are trying to film and watch a tornado while driving. You could have an accident.
Yeah.
It's the wrong accident. You block that road. Everyone's stuck. And you better hope it's not coming towards you, but most of the time they're going to it, so it is going to be coming towards them.
And it's just one of those things where there is a lot of worry nowadays that there will get this gridlock event, and then the storm might change its path a little bit, and if people just got to remember, if you're out here chasing, these are the most dangerous and destructive weather events on Earth.
I wonder, I don't know what the answer is. You mentioned that bill that tried to be passed. Maybe everyone out there needs to pass some sort of basic severe weather meteorology exam. So making sure they know how to read a radar and see where it's going and know like the potential of it to turn a little bit. Like,
how do you regulate that?
Doesn't say like
that's tough.
So it's like Okay. Now we're going. I don't want to go off script too much.
This is a discussion. I hope people at home are finding it interesting.
So way back in COVID, for us in media, at least where I was working at the time, they shut down. Like you weren't allowed to leave the house. Like truly, like at least at the beginning, you weren't allowed to leave. But then they handed out media passes to us in the media who needed to still go to work, or of course nurses, doctors, and essential employees. And we had these certificates that we had to leave on the top of the car. So maybe you start that like, okay, I am certified to chase. Here's whatever on the car. And like, it's not going to be completely regulated. You want the police officers to be inside and not like, watching the streets in a severe storm. But it's just something that, okay, you could be fined. Maybe it's a big fine if it is your Uncle Bill Bob out there trying to chase down a tornado and doing something dumb and causing an accident for other like serious chasers that are trying to help the community. I
think it's a very complex and just tough to scenario for it out there. And if you've seen any of the videos, you probably know what I'm talking about. Where the point, like, no one earlier this week on Monday there was a very severe gridlock set up, and it was sketchy. It was just north of Topeka, and a lot of people have been talking about it. And I thought I thought it would be a good discussion to kind of bring up here.
Yeah,
and
let it be known, I do not have the answers. We
Yeah.
do not have the answers.
Oh, definitely
We
not.
are not saying we know best. Absolutely not. I have no
Absolutely.
idea.
I
what is
agree
best.
that skywarn spotters and some chasers are so valuable. It is
So valuable.
We need them out there.
And we appreciate all of you who are spotters for us. Thank
Yes.
you so much.
But like I said, there's too much of a good thing sometimes. And I wonder how Florida would handle it if we had like the same problem for hurricanes and people just lining up on the beach.
Yeah.
Like, and we've already starting to see this in some spots, but
Chasers are coming to hurricanes now more and more for sure.
I think it also goes back, and not to get too far on a tangent, but I'll my final 2 cents on it. I think 10, 15, even 5 years ago, it was harder to do this, but now everybody's got a phone.
Get
and
the
there's
technology.
the radar apps are so good nowadays.
They are.
And even there, you can see where all the other chasers are. So you don't even have to be good. You could just see where the cluster of people are and
truly-
kind of follow it.
And our forecasting has gotten better too. So like originally we'd be like 15 years ago, it's like, all right, there's going to be a tornado
break out the
somewhere
chart.
in Kansas, but now we're like, okay,
Yeah.
Omaha, or whatever. Like,
I mean, when I
that's the
first
spot.
was studying in the mid 2000s about and I wanted to do a little storm chasing, I was reading like the old school books, and they were showing like put the chart out. You got to lay the charts on top of each other and find where the pot that. No one's doing that nowadays. No one's doing that. Like the forecasting and the products have gotten so much better, and it's just available to you immediately. I digress.
Did you say it was Nebraska where this just happened? Where
That
did you say the
video
gridlock
was Nebraska.
Okay, the video is
but-
Nebraska.
But just outside of Topeka earlier this week, it was a big gridlock event.
Okay.
So same area of the country. There's where the severe weather outlook is for today. Not much to talk about. I mean, I shouldn't say not much. We got a slight chance out in southern Texas, where I bet a lot of the chasers probably will be versus the Northeast. They want to be out in those areas that are more the rolling hills. And
you can see from
yeah.
further away.
But, even out towards New York, D.C. area, could be looking at some stronger storms. So let's bring it back home to the First Coast. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on out here today. A little hot, a little muggy, some
Yeah.
isolated showers.
You just mentioned New York. It was in the 90s there yesterday. It was hotter than here in New York, but we are warming up, and we will see temperatures climb into the 90s here very shortly.
Speaking of the heat, let's talk about what your story is for today here on the First Coast.
So it is Heat Safety Week. So we need to keep in mind all heat safety tips. And one of the things here, we are all susceptible to heat illness, but there are certain populations that are at higher risk. Pregnant women, newborns, children, older people, and those with chronic illness. So anyone in this population, they need to be extra careful, or you watch out for your friends and family as well to check on the potential for heat illness developing. Some other tips: wear loose-fitting clothing. You want it to breathe. You want the air to circulate around your body and cool you down. Take frequent breaks in the AC and the shade. Make sure to drink water. Not caffeine, not alcohol.
Aww.
Water. Drink water even when you're not thirsty. Just continue to hydrate. You don't want to feel thirsty. Thirsty is the first sign of dehydration.
Oh.
So you want to keep drinking when you're not thirsty, because then you're actually good to go. Check on the at-risk people we just talked about. And then, of course, watch out for the signs of heat stroke and heat exhaustion as well.
That's it's all good tips here. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, we're in Florida, it gets hot. Yeah, but you still want to just remind yourself of some of these, especially since it's 2026. Most people spend time inside the AC. Let's be honest with each other. So,
You still have some, camps, practices for kids. They're at risk. And so you had to watch out for them to make sure they haven't overexerted themselves.
Yeah.
Adults on the beach
And that's what I
with
mean,
a nice adult beverage.
people might spend most of the time inside the AC, and then they do go hang out at the beach for a couple hours. And I think it can sneak up on you real quick if you're not paying
boat,
attention.
or the pool, or the springs.
Yeah.
If you are drinking alcohol, or even just coffee.
Just be careful.
I am so sorry. I have to take this for our support system. I've
Oh,
been waiting
okay.
on this phone call. So Robert
Ooh.
Speta is going to take
Live.
over the rest of the stream.
All
We
right,
are live.
We'll walk through the rest of the forecast. We'll do a little quick forecast. We'll see how much time we have left, too, as well here. Malcolm, a minute and a half. Oh, yeah, we don't have much time left. Let's talk about this. All right, so let's talk about the afternoon showers here today, inland areas. And then as we go ahead into our Thursday, we basically have another round of rainfall that's going to be developing here across parts of the First Coast. And again on Friday, look at this, an increase in humidity across our areas. So what does that mean for the holiday weekend? Well, we're going to be looking at, the isolated chances of rainfall here. 40% on Saturday and Sunday. Those temperatures in the 90s, as Lee was just talking about. It's going to be hot Monday for Memorial Day, 89 degrees there. Still staying on the hot side. Isolated storm, possibly for some inland spots, but I think, especially for in the morning, you have any of those memorials you're going to be heading out to, you should be just fine. Actually, in the morning, it's going to be the better time of day. Temperatures a little bit cooler. As we go ahead throughout the weekend, though, moisture is going to increase from the south, very tropical-esque, but as we said, there's that area off of the coast. I'm not worried about it. As we go ahead in the month of June, July, and August, so we start to get into that wetter time of year. So these average daytime, afternoon showers and thunderstorms becoming a bit more common here on the First Coast. So that's why pretty much every day we got 30 to 40%. Not 100% by any means, but these isolated afternoon showers kicking in. We covered a lot today. That's what this early version of Weather Impact Live is typically like. We try to talk about weather topics, not only on the First Coast, but across the country and the world, and just kind of debate and talk, If you want more of this, like a direct weather forecast style FCN Plus broadcast here for you, come back at 4:30 here in FCN Plus, because that's when we're going to be talking about, the day-by-day forecast, breaking down some of your events, and of course taking a look more at this extended outlook and what's going on out here across the First Coast. So I hope you found this interesting today. Our discussions on the tropics, the sargassum, and that severe weather, and maybe the future of storm chasing here. Let me know what your thoughts are. But for now, thanks for watching, and of course, stay safe out there. I'm meteorologist Robert Speta, Lee Southwick, joining me here as well today.